We dined above one of the most exclusive Dom Pérignon collections in the world.
Why Dom Pérignon? Why not?
But here's the question. Does being surrounded by that much champagne actually make the dinner feel more luxurious? Tonight, we're here to find out. This is Denmark, a country of quiet confidence and bold ideas, of hygge and high design, of fairy tales and fine dining. And just outside Copenhagen, in the coastal neighborhood of Hellerup, in a villa that once housed an old pharmacy where bottles held medicine, they now hold champagne. Inside you'll meet Jonathan, the chef behind the Samuel. Jonathan Berntsen is no stranger to stars. At just 31, he earned his first Michelin star at his former restaurant Clue. But when the world paused during Corona lockdown, Jonathan, he made a decision to start from scratch, to build something more personal, more complete, more him. With a wine-first philosophy, French techniques and a service team that feels more like family than staff, the Samuel earned a Michelin star in just 4 months. And now we're here, not to tell the story, but to experience it. We begin in the bar. A circular counter, sleek, sculptural in the center of the room. Behind it, the kitchen. It hums like a machine. Calm, focused, not a word wasted. My wife leans in. "They're so quiet," she whispers. And she's right, there's a kind of grace to it. We led up the stairs. Quilms, brush strokes on the wall, a white tablecloth beneath our hands. It feels personal, not like arriving in a restaurant, but at the home of old friends who just happened to cook like this. And oh boy, can they cook. The first dish isn't a dish, it's an announcement in a cup. The aroma, rich, oceanic, but the first sip surprises. It's silky, deep, comforting, like a bisque in a tuxedo. And then raw cocoa, not sweet, not loud, just enough to make you stop and go, wait, did they just put chocolate in this? And yes, they did, and it works. The kind of opener that doesn't just wake up your palate, it nudges your brain too. You're not just here to eat, you're here to pay attention. And the next dish, it demanded exactly that. In comes a scallop. It's raw, but nothing about the dish feels unfinished. It arrives warm, not from heat, but from delicate aroma. Toasted almond oil, black truffle, and something creamy just beneath the surface. You go in, sweetness, earth. The scallop brings the sea, the vinaigrette brings the forest floor, and then comes the champagne. Sharp, mature, a little while at the edges. It's not a pairing, it's a duet, and every note lands exactly where it should. Then something unexpected. It didn't look like a dessert, but your brain hears vanilla, and suddenly it's confused. Gooseberries, tomato seeds, yellow curry, it's savory, acidic, sharp around the edges, and then vanilla. Not hiding, not subtle, before the bread, before the fish, before anything remotely sweet. And it's bold, maybe even a little smug. But I like it. Then the wine. 1983 Gewürztraminer. Amber gold, spiced and almost wild. And suddenly, vanilla. It makes perfectly sense. Then came something entirely different. It arrives covered, hidden beneath a porcelain lid, the kind of move that says, this one's special. Lift it, and it makes sense. The quenelles, they're not on display, they're hidden, protected, like the dish only half ready to reveal itself. You take a bite, and it all unfolds. The langoustine is soft, warm, impossibly delicate. The mascarpone wraps around it like silk. The waffle brings texture, and the caviar, well, it says nothing, but it's doing all the talking. Then comes the wine, wild and mineral, with just enough edge to keep up. Before the main course, a small ritual. We were invited to choose weapon of choice. A Laguiole steak knife, elegant and weighty in the hand, just a gesture. But somehow it mattered. And the next plate arrives almost empty. Just a few slices of grilled A5, Wagyu, perfectly placed on top, a single dot of fresh wasabi, like a green punctuation mark. Perfect restraint, no sauce, no sides, no distraction, just beef, bold and bare, melting on the tongue like it was born to do nothing else. Then comes a salad in its own tall stemmed glass, bitter leaves, Yoso chilled yogurt, a contrast, a cleanser, and the wine. 2021 Spätburgunder, cool, precise, not here to impress, but to complete. It's the most minimal course so far, and somehow the most generous, because it leaves you wanting more. And more was waiting. Just downstairs, past the open kitchen, past the wine cellar, you arrive at a glass-fronted cabinet glowing like a treasure chest. Inside, order and abundance. A curated selection of the world's best cheeses, 10 cheeses curated with care, presented with pride. Just a quiet moment of passion made sharper by the glass in your hand. Just when you thought dessert was around the corner, a salad arrives. After vanilla in the third course, this feels almost rebellious. Tomato, pickled and sweet, salty, cheap cheese dusted with frozen thyme, then warm olive oil and dark chocolate. A flavor puzzle disguised as something simple. And then comes the wine. 1976 Riesling Auslese, mature, golden, with a whisper of petrol and peach. Suddenly every decision makes perfect sense. This isn't a pre-dessert, it's a curveball, and a brilliant one of that, my favorite dish of the night. Now it's dessert time. And by now you're not expecting something light, you're expecting something clever. And this dessert knows it. It arrives sealed with a caramel lid, crack it, and everything shifts. Almond springs the crunch, bitter orange ice cream made from the whole fruit, almost savory, saffron and white chocolate cream tucked inside a dark chocolate shell. It's a layered final, not just sweet but structured. Then comes the Pinot, golden, nutty, patient, like it's been rehearsing this pairing for 10 years. And then the simplest pleasure of all, vanilla eclair. Tiny flakes of leaf gold catch the light like a final toast to the meal that came before. It doesn't ask for attention, it earns it. A final exhale, a perfectly placed period at the end of a very well-crafted sentence. So how does it all add up? After 9 courses and 3 hours at the Samuel, what's my final thoughts from the first drink in the bar to the final bite of chocolate and gold? The Samuel delivered a meal that was complete. Not just the food, though that was flawless, not just the wine, though it was brilliant, but the rhythm of it all. The art on the walls, the stillness in the kitchen, the warmth in the service, everything felt like a part of the same idea, the same experience. And that brings us back to the question we started with. Does being surrounded by that much Dom Pérignon makes dinner feel more luxurious? Not exactly. A collection like that doesn't create luxury on its own, but it reveals a mindset, a commitment to excellence, a belief that details matter. And here, every detail did. Nothing felt random and nothing tried too hard. It was elegant and personal. It's not about more, it's about enough. The right things done well. If this kind of storytelling speaks to you, hit like, subscribe, and let me know what's the most unforgettable meal you ever had. And remember, luxury isn't what surrounds you, it's what stays with you. See you next time.